Atari, Sega nerd. He's the angry video game nerd.
You got a game and a controller. That's the way it goes. But sometimes that wasn't enough. Nintendo is always coming up with creative and unique ways to play games. Today, there's the Wii and the DS stylus pen. But even in the early days with the NES, they were doing the same sort of thing. Some of them were pretty awesome at the time, but others were failed experiments that made you look like a jackass. So let's take a look at some of the NES accessories. I already talked about the Power Glove. We all know it's bad, so bad. Let's start with the Zapper. Back then we just called it the gun, because that's what it is. There's nothing more satisfying than just shooting the fuck out of things. It was the quintessential gaming accessory. Almost every console had their own version of the gun. Only problem, it doesn't work so great anymore. Depends on the game, the kind of TV you're using, and the gun itself. I have 3 of them. The first one is completely random. Sometimes it makes its target, but most of the time it doesn't. The second one has a pattern. Every other round it like goes dead. So here comes the 2 clay pigeons. I shoot them, no problem. Then the next ones come out. I can't hit them, even if I press the thing against the screen. The third Zapper has the same problem, except that the pattern swapped. What the fuck is going on? Even the alleged light bulb trick doesn't work. Here we have Wild Gunman. What do you gotta use your hands? That's like a baby's toy. The game before, you can spend hours searching for the right place. The first time, I had no clue I'm supposed to go straight to the sandcrawler to find R2-D2. Once inside, it turns into a side-scroller. Luckily, it's a huge improvement over the Japanese version. The controls are more fluent, and you actually have a life bar. Thank God. It still manages to be a very difficult game. One thing that's kind of annoying, if you fall from too great a height, you take damage. Does that happen in Super Mario Brothers? No, it doesn't. You find these elevator shaft things that make Luke shoot up into the air, but they land you on a conveyor belt, then you get hit by these metal garbage can lids. Those conveyor belts can go fuck a dick. There's R2. Oh shit, the conveyor. Fuck! Then you drive out to Mos Eisley to find Han and get the Millennium Falcon. Here, there's actually a stage inside the bar, unlike the other game. It's unfeasible to beat this stage with the blaster. You have to get the lightsaber before coming here. So, fuck the bar, first go to the cave. Yeah, it's some cave where Obi-Wan gives Luke the lightsaber. It's not clear at all where you're supposed to go first. And besides, why would Obi-Wan give Luke the lightsaber in a cave? Now that I have the lightsaber, the bar stage is much easier. But the next stage starts kicking my ass again. All these bounty hunters are flying around, blowing me to smithereens. Jump! Jump! I made it through the hangar. I'm at the Millennium Falcon, flying in space, getting annihilated by asteroids that kill in one hit. You gotta collect shields for the ship, which can only be found back at the hangar. Of course. Too bad I didn't know that, because now I gotta do the whole game over. Okay, so I went through the whole game again, and now I'm back at the hangar. This time making sure to collect the shields. Now the flying stage is much easier, and after that, it's time for the Death Star. Unfortunately, the Death Star is a confusing maze of elevators. Where do I go? Wouldn't it be nice to have a map or a compass? Anything to help me navigate my way. Instead, it's a guessing game. Man, I don't know how the stormtroopers deal with this shit. Even worse, one of the elevators can only be found by taking a dive. Try that anywhere else and it would drop you to your death. Once you get Leia, she becomes a playable character. Fortunately, she can jump way better than Luke. But it's not going to help too much because this whole stage is full of spikes. If you touch them, you die. That's it. Even if you touch the side of a spike, you die. This is a cruel joke. Think about every game that has spikes or any sort of prickly hazards that cover the walls. Imagine all that combined and multiplied 1,000,000 times. Even worse, you go into this anti-gravity room where you get sucked up to the ceiling against your own will. Man, the only way to beat an outrageously difficult game like this is to cheat. Like I hear a lot of people use emulators with save states. You know, that would be pretty handy, I guess, but... Hey, get down! The Super Nintendo also had its own gun. More like a big-ass bazooka. The Super Scope. If you're familiar with the Zapper, this one's a totally different story. The Zapper used light detection. That is, when you pull the trigger, the screen goes black for a fraction of a second and the targets become white squares. The Zapper detects whether or not it's pointing at the light, hence the term light gun that everybody likes to call it. But the Super Scope uses a sensor that you plug into the Super Nintendo, much like the Wii and its Wii Zapper. Another thing about the Super Scope is that it isn't powered by the NES. It's wireless, which you think would be cool, but that means that you gotta use 6 AA batteries, and this fucking beast drains them in a few hours. And why is the trigger on the top? It should be down here. This is balls. You think the Super Scope would be more reliable than the original Zapper, but it's not. Even if I point the gun in the same spot, the bullets just scatter all over the place, all because I'm using a flat screen TV. Now let's look at the Miracle Piano. It's a miracle if I could figure this shit out. You might be thinking, wow, Nintendo had a piano? Well, yeah, Nintendo had everything, but it was also available on other game consoles and home computers. It's got one game, which is basically a piano teaching tool. It's actually not bad. Well, that's really all there is to say. My only complaint is that the music comes from the keyboard, which is okay, but the metronome comes from the TV, and that can be a little confusing. Other than having standard lessons, you also get this robot game. Play the song right or the robot dies. Then there's a duck game. You gotta shoot the ducks. Oh, come on. Yeah, I'm shooting ducks with the piano. Next we have the Power Pad. You lay it on the floor, kind of like Twister. Let's pop in good old world-class track meet and have a race, jump hurdles, and do the long jump or triple jump. The present-day equivalent of the Power Pad is Dance Dance Revolution, and there will also be a version on the Wii. It was meant to be a family game, but most kids I knew played it alone in their room, and that meant that if your room was upstairs, your parents would hear like all this thumping and shit. They hated it. Cats and dogs would piss and shit on it. In fact, just thinking about it makes me feel like having an anal evacuation. Fuck this! Yeah, it all comes down to tapping buttons, which brings us to our next accessory. Probably the stupidest thing ever invented. The speed board. What is it? It's a piece of fucking plastic. You attach your controller. You get it? In case you don't want to hold the controller with your hands, in case you enjoy playing on the floor or behind a table, then this is for you. It's embarrassing. What's the point? To put the speed at your fingers? Why in the ass would I need that? If I'm playing a game that involves having to tap the buttons like crazy, I'm probably gonna get a turbo controller like the NES Max or NES Advantage. How could they even sell such a thing? Even though it's made by a third-party company, it was actually licensed by Nintendo. It's like covering a turd in ice cream sprinkles. Next up, oh boy, the Konami Laser Scope. Now I just want to go on record by saying I fucking love Konami. But this thing reeks of ass. It's essentially yet another form of the zapper, but it's voice controlled. To shoot, you say fire.
Fire! 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 Fire!
It also has headphones, and it advertises on the box that you can use it for your Game Boy or Walkman. Just detach the scope module. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I would look so cool walking around listening to my iPod with this fucking thing on my head. It also advertises that parents will love what they don't hear. It says, while the laser scope surrounds the player with the sounds of exciting gameplay action, non-players can listen to music, read a book, talk on the phone, or have a conversation in the same room. Yeah, while you're saying, fire, 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 kind of defeats the purpose, right? Fire, 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 fuck. I didn't say fire, I said fuck. Fuck. Fuck fire. Fuck. Fuck. Ass. You can say anything. Shit. Bitch. Cunt. Fuck. Fart. Fuck. Wow, I just shot down a duck by saying fuck. Next is the Rollin' Rocker. What's the point? It's all gonna be dust one day. Lester the Unlikely. It's unlikely that this is gonna be a good game. Okay, title screen. Guy swinging on vine. Like every other jungle adventure game. Then comes the story. You're Lester, a comic book geek who wanders onto a dock and then... Oh, okay. I have no faith in this character already. If he's gonna go to sleep on a piece of cargo that's being loaded onto a ship, he becomes an involuntary stowaway. The ship's raided by pirates, and Lester swims to a nearby tropical island. That's where the game begins. Now that is the most embarrassing walk cycle I've ever seen.
No.
What's he doing? What the hell's that about? Jump! Oh, what is he, humping the air now? Oh, come on, he can't even jump without getting hurt? This guy needs to take lessons from Mario. You're not allowed to jump from too great a height. You have to stand on the edge, face the opposite direction, and gently lower yourself down. It's tedious, and it takes a while to learn. It's not that uncommon. There were other games with a similar control scheme, like Prince of Persia, Out of This World, and Nosferatu, which all use the same style of rotoscoped animation. But this is just annoying. Half the time, Lester does things against your own will. I didn't do that, the game did. Have you ever had a game character disobey? Go near the damn turtle! Why does he keep running? What's so threatening about a fucking turtle? Run, Lester, run! Get away from that turtle. That turtle might charge really fast. I figured out that you can kill these crabs by kicking. And yes, that puny little kick is your only means of attack. The air humping, I don't know what that does. But you can't hump the turtle. I'm trying to jump on this thing, but it's not working. You can't jump on the turtle? Oh, you kick it. Why didn't I think of that before? Jumping on the turtle. I really gotta stop thinking about Mario. How am I supposed to get up there? Can I push the rock? Yes, I can. Alright. Come on. Get up on the rock. Okay. Fuck. Let me push this fucking rock. Push the fucking rock. Here we go. Alright, that's as close as it can get. Fuck. I'm stuck again. Alright. Jump. Oh, what? Oh, fuck. Get on the fucking rock. Okay. Alright, closer. Fuck. Get closer. Fuck! Jeez, I feel like a fucking dumbass. Get up there! Get the fuck up there! Oh, man! I don't know how I did it. Oh, shit, there's birds now? Duck! Oh, no, 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 no! Let me go! I have to do the whole level all over again? This game is ass gravy. The next level's inside a cave, and now things are becoming very labyrinth-like. On top of bad control, I don't even know where to go. Doo-doo. The only way to find out what's below is to drop down. Oh, come on! That time I didn't even let go! You can't even jump and grab on a ledge without taking damage? You know what it is? You're just not allowed to take shortcuts. It has to be as slow and diligent as possible. What a fussy game. Oh no, why do so many games have to have bats? Duty! I don't have time to climb down. This is a moment when being able to jump would be really helpful. I hate bats. I fucking hate the graphic capabilities a little more, just the fact that it puts you into a three-dimensional environment. But compared to F-Zero on Super Nintendo, 48 bits less, but a million times more appealing to the eye. Now look at Cybermorph. It's a flying game with polygon graphics. Going back to Super NES one more time, look at Star Fox. Are we missing something here? For a game console that claims to be 64-bit, it really doesn't show a whole lot of improvement. This caused a lot of debate amongst gamers whether or not it really was 64-bit. It's a topic that usually overshadows the Jaguar itself, but it's something that we just need to get out of the way. Well, we do know that Atari was originally planning a 32-bit system called the Panther, but decided to skip it and leap ahead. The Jaguar still used a 32-bit graphic processing unit, but through a combination of other processors somehow added up to 64. It's technical and confusing, but the point is the Jaguar was a rare species, not built like most game consoles. That made it harder for programmers to develop games on it, and as a result, many games didn't utilize its full capabilities, whatever they could have been. So I've given you a little history of Atari and how it tried to win the bit wars. Now that we got that out of the way, check in for part 2 and we'll actually play some Jaguar games. Or if you want to be cool, you say play some Jag! Check in for part 2 and we'll play some Jag! Get away from me! I can outrun him! I can do it! Yeah. Oh shit! This is a penis-shaped piss stain on the face of gaming. I'd rather fuck the Wicked Witch of the West. I'd rather play a CDI game, yeah. Like The Flowers of Robert Mapplethorpe. No, I wouldn't. What's this? I never noticed this rock before. Can I pick it up? Oh my god. Now I feel like an idiot. But I can't really blame myself. I thought the rock was just part of the scenery. How's anyone supposed to distinguish it from all this other crap? Oh great, a dead end. The rock doesn't do anything. Okay, there's a treasure chest. I'll open the lock by just ricocheting a rock against a wall. A ruby. Cool. Wait, I can't keep both the rock and the ruby? Are you kidding me? You can't hold a weapon and item at the same time? Why even have two boxes then? And there we go, off to the next level. Now he's afraid of totem poles? This guy sucks. Now we gotta jump earthquakes and fire and shit? This isn't the kind of game that should require platforming jumping skills. Once you land on a sinking platform, you're stuck. You don't even get a chance to jump back to safer ground. Jump. Ah! Jump up. No. Jump. The fucking hands! Jeez! Jump. Oh, fuck. Why does he stand still? It's like he's asking to die. After all, it's the same guy who slept on a cargo platform. Just let him die. Who wants to play as a weak, pathetic character like this? Wouldn't you rather be a tough guy? Isn't that the whole point of playing a game? To feel empowered? To be someone you're not? I mean, I get it. He's supposed to be a nerd. Well, this nerd makes me look like Charles Bronson. Steve Urkel could beat the shit out of this guy. I think this whole thing was an experiment to create the world's worst video game character.
No wonder why he didn't get his own sequels. I can imagine what Lester the Unlikely 2 would have been like. The game would start, and you couldn't even move. All that happens, Lester pulls down his pants, sucks his thumb, and takes a shit. The third game, you couldn't even get past the title screen. All that happens, you push start, and Lester falls down and farts. The fourth game doesn't even work at all. You just put it in your Super Nintendo, and it explodes. The fifth game isn't even a game, it's just a bag of shit that says Lester the Unlikely 5 on it. Ugh. And there's a new one coming on the PS4 using the latest state-of-the-art technology of constructing the disc out of orangutan diarrhea. Just turned out that was the only way, and it really gives Blu-ray a run for its money.
And the original Lester will always be a classic that's improved like wine. Wine that's made from fermented rat piss with a fine aroma of the dead fly-swarmed carcass of a 3-day-old deer. With the delicate crisp flavor of skunk farts with highlights of ass sweat. The palate is rich with hints of residual dried poop crust from a truck stop bathroom. Goes down with a long-lasting finish of fly-covered summer harbor trash.
Fuck this game. And you know what? Fuck all games. I'm gonna watch some TV. Man, TV nowadays sucks.
This thing is the biggest shit biscuit I've ever seen. You stand on it and supposedly you rock back and forth, which controls the D-pad. The modern day equivalent would be the Wii Fit. The Rollin' Rocker is supposed to be compatible with every game for the NES, but I find that it isn't compatible with any of them. Each game responds differently, but none of them work. Adventure Island keeps walking right, Excite Bike keeps going down, Skate or Die goes in circles, Kung Fu ducks to the right, Metal Gear does nothing at all, Ninja Turtles 3 walks in place, and 1943 just fidgets around a lot.
It's another hunk of plastic! Who made this thing? Son of a bitch. Well, we might as well try an LJN game. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice! Let's see if this works. No, of course not. It doesn't. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I need a beer. freaking Rollin' Rock on the Rollin' Rocker. Rollin' Rock, Rollin' Rocker. Yeah, Rollin' Rock on the Rollin' Rocker. I've also heard that you can't weigh more than 100 pounds, but I still don't understand why I can't get any kind of response out of it. Let's try the cat. Get on there, you little bastard. Cat's like, fuck that shit. Even though the Rollin' Rocker does absolutely nothing, the B and A buttons still work. Yeah, you plug the regular controller into it, so while you're standing on the thing, you still use the B and A buttons like normal. So even if it did work, what's the point? If I'm holding the controller anyway, why not just use the controller? It blows my mind. It's like, what were they thinking?
One more. The U-Force. So hot, nothing can touch it. Nothing comes between you and the game. That's what the advertisement said. You open the thing up, it basically looks like electronic battleship. It's got a three-dimensional invisible power field. Wow, a power field. Now we're literally playing with power. Come on, jump. Jump. Come on, Mario, jump. God, how do I jump? Come on, jump. Ass. Oh, jump is over here. All right, here we go. Get the mushroom. Oh, now that's assy. Yeah, I know I use the word ass a lot. I guess you can say I'm an assaholic. Let's try Kung Fu. Yeah, I'm honestly surprised. This thing kind of works. Looking at the instructions, each game has a specific setup and a switch combination, kind of like the codes with the Power Glove. Punch-Out uses an upright position and a power bar. Everything's always power. What's so power about it? It's only a plastic bar, and why do you need it? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This actually works. I'm punching somebody with the U-Force. Oh, watch out. Oh. Get up, get up, get up. Alright. Alright. One more game. I can't believe we gotta touch this one again. Top Gun has an option of using this weird joystick thing. I don't see the point when I can just use an actual joystick. And what's really weird is that this thing, again, is just a piece of plastic. It doesn't have any wires connecting to it. You just plant it there. And the buttons actually work. And it steers okay, too. To tell you the truth, I'm stunned. So that covers most of the dreaded NES accessories, but I know that there's one in particular that I didn't mention, but, you know, can't do it all in one shot, so we'll save it till later. I'll see you next time. I think you know what's next.
Green ball, B-17 ball.
Help me now, man. I'm gonna review a good game for once. Super Mario Brothers 3.
Mattel Electronics presents B-17 ball. B-17 paintball.
That means that there's something inside your game. Something that wants to reduce the graphics into a pixelated mishmash of garbage. You're dealing with a game graphic glitch gremlin.
Good day to you, nerd. How are you? Good day, sir. As you know, I'm the Glitch Gremlin. And I've got glitches in my britches for you, nerd. I've got
I'm gonna lay the fuck smack on you. You think I can't still play?
What you say, it's a goddamn work of art. All the earth tones, the browns and the greens. It's just like Mother Nature. I like to bring it into the room.
It's ugly. Like your mom. You son of a bitch.
Try and switch the game as you might, but I can switch my glitches tonight. Oh! And here we have Punch Out with Iron Mike Tyson. I just ironed out his face. How do you like that? We'll call him Shit-Face Mike Tyson.
You little fuck nugget, get out of my game!
Oh, you've been throwing the dust out. I spent all day trying to get it in there. Well, if you're gonna blow it, why don't you blow me? Ah! I shit all over it with my glitches.
I almost wonder if the Glitch Gremlin had a deal with game companies to sell you all kinds of cleaning devices that you don't need. I mean, would you really need this to clean out a game? It's just as good for cleaning out your ass. I'll show you how to clean these fuckers out. Get yourself a Q-tip,
Oh, not the Q-tip.
put a little cleaning solution at the end, like that. You don't want too much. You don't want too much moisture in the game.
Keep the Q-tip away. Keep it away.
And, Glitch Gremlin, be gone.
Oh, you're a real asshole. I'll be back.
Yeah. Of course, some glitches can happen because of programming errors and can be triggered on command. So for those who want to be a Glitch Gremlin yourself, here's a trick you can try at home. In Mega Man 2, go to the Airman stage. Make sure you're equipped with item number 1. Now it's time to fight Airman, but instead, let's surprise the fuck out of him. Use item 1 to touch the door and see what happens. Wow, have you ever wondered what it would look like if the Airman stage and Dr. Wily stage part 2 got thrown together in a blender? Speaking of Mega Man, I had a unique experience with the 5th game. It happened a long time ago, and I doubt it will ever happen again. Fortunately, I have the evidence recorded on a VHS tape. It was a long night, and I was hell-bent on finishing the game. I made it to one of the final bosses. Under normal circumstances, I should have been able to see the giant pieces that fly out from the robot's body and been able to use them as platforms. But the Glitch Gremlin was playing dirty that night. He knew I made it far, and that there was no continue code for this late in the game. This was my first time trying to beat Mega Man 5. So imagine my confusion when I kept getting struck by invisible objects. The platforms were invisible, but they appeared to be stationary on the robot. Just an illusion, graphical dummies meant to fool me and sabotage my entire night's effort. My only option was to reset the game, but I couldn't accept that, so I pushed on. I kept jumping at the air blindly. 9 times out of 10 I'd get hit. Finally, after much patience, I got the invisible pattern down and was able to destroy the boss. And that was a great moment in nerd history.
That's impossible. I've never seen anything like it.
I should get a gold medal. Sometimes games can be unpredictable. Cheetahman 2 is a prime example where the whole game is a glitch. As already described in my Cheetahman review.
And why did it die off so quick?
Because it's a pile of fucking shit. Why? Well, just look at it.
Look at how huge this beast is. It's ginormous. And why is there a door on it? Is this a video game console or a fucking closet? Even the AC adapter weighs 1,000,000 tons. So, I'm gonna plug this son of a bitch in here. There we go. Get all this shit out of the way. Now, where do I plug the other end in? Doesn't it go into the Atari? Well, you can look all over the system, but there's no power connector. There's a separate box that you have to plug it in. Now, seriously, have you ever seen one of these? Other than the Atari 5200, I haven't. So, you plug this bastard in, and then there's this one wire coming out of the system, so you plug that into the box. Whoa, did you see that? That can't be good. Look, sparks. No joke. So anyway, the AC adapter and TV actually share the same wire. So I don't know what they were thinking. I mean, maybe they were thinking it'd be more convenient to have less wires running across your floor, but they knew that they fucked up because later they re-released the Atari 5200 with the traditional 2 separate wires instead of just, you know, this thing. But that one had...
After you beat the 4th level boss, you get stuck in limbo. So there's no way to play the last 2 levels unless by a freak accident. If a blue moon occurs on Friday the 13th and all the planets align, the game will actually start up on the missing levels. The frustrating part is that now I have no choice to play it. It's not like this is going to happen again. So it's like I gotta sit my ass down and play the 2 hardest to find, most mysterious levels in video game history, in what's already one of the rarest games in existence. What a privilege. Oh, and guess what? It sucks. Yeah, just like the rest of the game. Both levels are called Level 3, so that's 4 Level 3s in total. The final boss just runs back and forth. You stand there, hit him till he's dead, and after that, what happens? You guessed it. Now, if I ever have to talk about Action 52 and Cheetah Men again, I'm gonna staple my fucking ballsack to the ceiling. Double Dragon was a game I played so much, I used to find weird things all the time. If you touch the wall on the first level, you can become a human elevator. And if you bring the whip up there, you can do this. Call them glitches or Easter eggs, whether intentional or not, sometimes they can be helpful. Don't feel like fighting the boss at the end of stage 2? Well, don't. Just walk away. He doesn't even try to follow you, as if saying, "Fine, you fucking pussy." Tired of fighting those big muscle men? Just climb the wall. He's like, "Oh, fuck that, I ain't going up there." Probably the most famous of all video game secrets is the warp zone in Super Mario Bros. It first came as mild amusement when gamers found you could break the blocks all the way up on the ceiling. Then the moment of discovery came when you found out you could actually get above the ceiling. Wasn't that hilarious to see Mario running in front of the scoreboard? But that was only the beginning. If you went past the exit, you ended up in a warp zone where you could skip to different worlds. But then, somebody who had way too much time on their hands found out that if you break some of the blocks and perform a very specific jump, you could actually slide through the wall. This still takes you to the warp zone just the same, unless you don't walk too far. If you jump into the first pipe right away, it takes you to world -1. Well, it's just an underwater world that repeats in an endless loop. There's also an interesting thing known as the double death. If you die on a Hammer Brother, try pausing and unpausing. Let's check out Mario 2. This game is so much fun. Lifting enemies over your head and slamming them into one another, so cool. Fuck them up. Whoa, what happened? Let's try that again. Oh! I love these POW blocks. They wipe out all living creatures in sight. There's that classic trick where you go in that little dark world, you pick one up, and wait for time to run out. And now, you have twice the POW. It's doomsday for this place. Oh no, it changes gravity! The destructive force of the power block is so intense, the rest of the game can't handle it. Turtle shells and different objects fly all over the place. What happened? Where'd the bomb go? It like dropped through the floor. I wonder where that bomb went. Ah, bomb! You know that annoying Phanto fucker, that face that chases you around whenever you get the key? Don't you hate that thing? Haven't you always wanted to kill it? Well, here's how. You collect exactly 4 cherries and I got plenty to work with. But now, it's time for the main event.
Hey, I'm having deja vu here.
It's time to go back to the past, to go back to the future. I revisited this miserable shit turd from my childhood, and now it's time to revisit my revisiting of it. I wasn't satisfied with my incomplete review of it and my lack of attention to the sequels. I guess you could say I was a slacker.
Even the shirt I was wearing was all wrinkled. I don't know what the hell happened to it, but even worse, I just threw it on and didn't even take time to button it. I already mentioned how the game has nothing to do with the movie. You're collecting clocks, throwing bowling balls, and dodging bees and other bizarre things. One thing I didn't elaborate on before is how Marty has some serious problem with his legs where he can't stop walking. You think this is a goddamn flying game because you can't stop. Imagine the problems Marty must go through on a daily basis, being cursed to walk for all eternity. Imagine trying to order at a fast food restaurant, or any restaurant. Imagine going to work, or trying to use a bathroom, or fly on a plane. He can only stand still when he's behind a counter at a cafe throwing milkshakes. Anybody who's played this cafe stage knows how unforgiving it is, and I've talked about it already.
But wouldn't you like to know what the rest of the game is like? Do we ever see Doc Brown, or does the DeLorean ever make an appearance? Or any of the other things from the movie? Let's find out.
The rest of the street stages are all the same, except they change the color. No effort, time is money. Don't design another stage, just change the color, and kids will think it's different. Do they think we're idiots? Then we come to an empty classroom where Lorraine, I guess, is shooting hearts at Marty. What is he, the teacher all of a sudden? And what's he catching hearts for? I suppose it's like in the movie where Lorraine has a crush on Marty, but that's his mom, so he's trying not to let that happen. Why isn't he avoiding the hearts then? Oh, I see. I guess he's catching them in a book or something? It's the most literal interpretation of a movie. It's about time, so let's have clocks. It's about romance, let's have hearts. Was this game designed by a human being, or did they just feed the movie into a computer to process and then shit out this nonsensical fuck poop? Once again, like the cafe stage, you have to score at least 50 points. Then it's on to more walking stages, and after that, it's the Enchantment Under the Sea dance where Marty plays guitar. What do? You have to catch musical notes. What more did you expect? I'll tell you one thing, it's certainly no Guitar Hero or Rock Band. Why does Marty play the guitar like a stand-up bass the whole time? Why is he wearing a boiler suit? I guess the same reason he's wearing a black muscle shirt. Where's the red jacket or the suit? Couldn't they have gotten Marty to look anything like he did in the films? And what about the music? Wouldn't this have been an opportune time to hear Earth Angel or Johnny Be Good? Okay, wait a minute. It is Johnny Be Good. On crack. If they can make the DuckTales theme sound awesome in 8-bit, why not this? At least you get some different music for once. Next, more walking. And finally, the DeLorean. Yes, the DeLorean makes an appearance after all. This is supposed to be the scene where Marty's trying to get back to the future. The streets of Hill Valley are getting slammed with repeated lightning strikes. All you have to do here is dodge the lightning. That's all. Why are you dodging lightning anyway? Isn't Marty trying to get the lightning to hit the DeLorean to generate the 1.21 gigawatts and send them back to 1985? Isn't that the whole fucking idea of the movie? Anyway, that's Back to the Future NES. No special ending. Nothing. Fuck that music.
Well, now that we've seen the whole game, we can conclude that it has, some relation to the movie, but it doesn't have any of the familiar music cues. And don't tell me it was some kind of licensing issue, like they were able to license the movie, but not the music that belongs with that movie that we all recognize. No Back to the Future theme, no Power of Love, no Back in Time, no Johnny Be Good. Well, fuck this!
Next came Back to the Future 2 and 3. This one has the Back in Time song, or at least part of it. And the intro scenes follow the movie quite well. But then the game starts, and you see all these dinosaurs, snails, and runaway trash cans. What the hell happened here? It couldn't possibly be any more different from the film. In this timeline, when Biff brought the Sports Almanac to 1955, it somehow created a world full of piranha plants, killer clouds, and evil Martys. I like how it says Back to the Future on the bottom of the screen, just to remind you what you're playing. Otherwise, you'd forget it has anything to do with Back to the Future. When I first reviewed this game, I was being a shithead. I never explained how it's played. And that's where things get really interesting. You're supposed to collect 30 items and bring them all back to their rightful places and times. You find the items behind locked doors. To unlock the doors, you need to find the keys, which are found by killing random enemies. But the keys don't sit still. They fly off the screen the second they appear. Usually, you're not expecting the key, so you might not catch it. Once the key's gone, it doesn't return. Not unless you exit the level and come back. Even when you get a key, most of the doors don't let you in. I don't know the reason for this, but when you do find the right door, you'll get an item. But you don't get it right away. You have to do some sort of mini game. They're all different, but the goal is the same, to collect all the clocks. How original. After all that bullshit, you finally get the item, and now you have to find where to take it. I know where the game designers can take it, but that's another story. You have to find another room that's hidden somewhere obscure, like under a manhole or inside a pipe. Once you find this room, you think that's it. You return the item and then you're off for the next one. But no, it's not over yet. You have to solve a puzzle, a scrambled word. You select the object from your inventory that corresponds with the scrambled word. Like if I have a milkshake, I have to look at the word and think, is that milkshake? Well, it doesn't look like it. What if it's supposed to be root beer float? How would I know what they're calling it? If this is the wrong room and that word doesn't belong to the object, then you have to leave the room. If you try selecting the item, you will lose that item and have to go get it all over again. It's even more confusing that the objects in the puzzle rooms are never in the same place or time. You have to use the DeLorean to travel to the different time zones. And there's 30 of them. 30 items. How could it be any worse? Well, guess what? There's no save feature. Who came up with this? We're not even allowed to turn off our Nintendo? We have to beat the whole game in one clean shot? Don't be so fuck. I played for 2 hours straight without returning a single item. I ran from one side of the board to the next, traveled to different time periods, and searched every last inch. I just don't know where I'm supposed to go. It's hard to even keep track of where you've been. After you've found and returned the 30 items, you're only halfway through. You still have part 3 to deal with. Jeez, I could do something much more productive with my time. I could learn a new foreign language. I could study microbiology. I could train Siberian tigers. Instead, I'm degenerating my brain cells into 8-bit pixels. At least you can skip to part 3 with a code. On the title screen, hold B and select, then unscramble another word. If you know the code, you probably know the word. Why does everything have to be so cryptic? Why did LJN have to make every NES movie adaptation? Couldn't they have given somebody else a try? No, they wanted to incorporate the entire spectrum of awfulness. Purple for putrid gameplay, blue for bad musical abominations, green for graphical farts and garlic, yellow for piss-poor lack of loyalty to source material.
Or vegetables. Get the key, let the bastard chase you somewhere where you can get a time stopper. Now, get one more cherry to make the star appear. And hurry up, time's running out! Yeah, I got him! Finally killed that ass face. Moving on to Mario 3. Yeah, might as well. The Glitch Kremlin usually stays away from this one. Yeah, it's a little too crowded with demonic possessions. But nevertheless, it has its share of glitches that you can perform yourself, like sand diving and air walking. As for Super Mario World, there's a neat trick here too. Go to Chocolate Island 3, get to the goal. Instead of jumping up like normal, you release Yoshi in midair. The screen is still fixated on where Yoshi was, and you can only see Mario's legs. But that's only the beginning. Wow, the stability of all the colors in this world depend on Mario and Yoshi making that jump correctly. For some reason, gamers enjoy finding these kind of glitches. Maybe it's because we take pride in finding flaws that the programmers overlooked, or maybe it's just because we like playing outside the rules, to go exploring. Well, for the boldest of explorers, there's Mountain King on the Atari 2600. Getting tired of the same old platforms and ladders, wouldn't you like to go to a whole new higher level of gameplay, literally? By performing a very specific jump, you can launch the character higher than usual. Then you have to land on a very specific spot. If you're 1 pixel off, it doesn't work. And sometimes it doesn't work anyway. You have to keep holding the joystick in the direction you're jumping and release it at the precise moment. Now, welcome to Glitch Heaven, a vast world without logic, a place not only of sight and sound, but of mind. By playing with all the switches on the Atari console, you can cause the layout to change. You can also plug different controllers into the second port, like the paddles or even the keypad. You can even try the ColecoVision controller or Sega Genesis. It's like a mad scientist experiment. I tried for hours and I still haven't been able to find everything. There's been reports of the screen flickering, the character changing size, and strange unknown objects. Will you be the next adventurer to discover the unexplored secrets of Glitch Heaven? From the old days of gaming until the new, it seems like game glitches will always be around. The hole from below, why is there such a big space up there? Not to mention, why couldn't the cheetah fall down the hole instead of exploding into 4 glowing orbs? Oh, and guess how the level ends? Like that. It just stops. What more do you expect? Welcome to the most awesome glitch of all. I'm jumping perpetually in midair. Yeah, I could do this all day. That's no problem. Oh, what the fuck? I went through the top of the screen and came out the bottom and died? You might say it's my fault for cheating, but come on, when I fall down, I don't drop through the ceiling and live. Besides, there's more enemies in the air than on the ground, so I don't recommend it. In level 3, you're a different cheetah man. This is where the game starts to get hard. First of all, to die, all it takes is a few hits. Then because this big tub of fuck is such a large target, you can't duck either, so there's not much you can do to avoid all these projectiles. The jumping glitch only gets you so far. Fuck. Fuck. Oh no! Wait a minute. A 1-up? And it skips me to the next level? Aw, kick fucking ass! Life is kinda cool sometimes. But here's the weird part. The next level's supposed to be 4, but it's called 3. So there's 2 level 3s? It begins with this bizarre flashing disco strobe with Tetris blocks. What's that all about? And what's this? A health bar? I have a health bar all of a sudden? Well, that's convenient. I don't know why it's not in the other levels. And now the jumping glitch doesn't work anymore? The rules of jumping change from level to level? The major reason why it's so difficult is because you outrun the screen, so you're always taking damage from enemies that you can't see until it's too late. I mean, look how far to the right I am. Aw, shit. You gotta jiggle back and forth just to get the screen oriented properly. Rhino Man here, or Rocksteady, whoever the fuck he is, he kills you in 1 hit. Doesn't matter how much health you have, he runs right in and you're dead. The only way to beat him is to very slowly inch your way up, and as soon as he appears, you run all the way to the left. If you're just a hair too late, you're dead. Then you have to make very subtle taps with the D-pad to get yourself facing right, and 1 tiny step forward, just enough so he can't touch you. It's It's like the only way to beat this game is to cheat. Guess that's why it's called Cheetah-Men. Now we're up to level 4, which is actually 5. This time you get a cheetah that shoots arrows with a crossbow. You'd think that would make it easier. But no, the arrows never hit anything. They're too small and you can only shoot one at a time. It doesn't matter how careful you are, the enemies will always sneak in a hit before you can kill them. By the way, the health bar's gone again, but the formula's the same. 3 or 4 hits and you're dead. And I die on the first 3 or 4 enemies. Wow. The fuck nuggets who made this game thought they were going to make action figures and it was going to be the next best thing to Ninja Turtles? Well, that's the end of Action 52. But they made a Cheetah-Men sequel. Oh yeah. You know how with a bad game, sometimes you wonder how could it have even made it in the stores? Well, this is a case in which the horror was so unspeakable, the game was never released. The cartridges were taken to a warehouse where they remained for years to come. It was never meant to be played. Then, in the late 90s, a massive break-in took place. The cartridges were discovered and became valuable collector's items. That's a true story, except that the real story was probably a little less dramatic than that. Only 1,500 of these games are known to exist, and they command outrageous prices on eBay. I don't know if I should consider myself lucky or not, but here it is, the unholy grail of gaming. Would you believe that this game is so bad it doesn't even get its own cartridge? They recycled the same plastic casing from Action 52 and put a Cheetah-Men 2 sticker on the back. Let's pop this golden turd in and give it a go. The plot involves a Dr. Morbus who creates an ape-man to fight the Cheetah-Men. At least it explains who the villains are this time and no mention of the stupid Game Master. The gameplay and graphics are similar to the first Cheetah-Men and it reuses the same music. Geez, at least try to do something different. If they made Cheetah-Men versus Chester Cheetah, that shit would be the motherfucking ass. The only thing original about this game is that you shoot tornadoes with a crossbow. Yeah, next time there's a tornado ripping through town, just shoot an arrow at it. At least there's a health meter this time, but how many hit points do I have? A half and 2.5? The glitches are out of control. Blocks randomly change color, there's a stone nugget that keeps appearing out of nowhere, and what is that? The game's taking an 8-bit shit. You'd think they would have ironed out all the flaws and improved all the mistakes made the first time around. But no, somehow they actually made it worse, like pouring salt on an open wound. You die by jumping. Yeah, if you walk and fall, you're fine, but jumping from a great height, you're fucked. Oh, come on, I can't land on that thing? Then why is it there? The biggest issue is not being able to duck. You couldn't duck in the first game either, but here, 90% of your enemies are on the ground. That's a major problem. I still can't accept this fact, so I'm always hoping in vain that if I press down hard enough, it'll duck. Sometimes enemies come in pairs. You can't even jump over that shit. They can't hit me here, right? What? Let's see that again. You can't even stand above the enemies. The only enemies that aren't on the ground are up in the air. Can't jump over, can't duck, and can't even shoot with a straight shot. You have to pull off a tricky jumping shot, but the enemies appear so quickly you don't have time. The second level boss, on the other hand, is too easy. All he does is run to the right, never jumps, never throws anything, never changes pattern, just runs in the same direction until he's dead. Level 3, it's the big cheetah again. Since all the enemies are stationed on the ground, the jumping glitch actually works favorably this time. But I don't feel bad about it. You know what, game? All the shit you put me through the first 2 levels, now it's my turn. Yeah, you wanna play dumbass? Well, double dumbass on you, motherfucker. You swine, you son of a motherless goat. Level 3? Both games have 2 level 3s? How'd they repeat the same mistake twice? Maybe it was intentional. Now it's time for the ape-man. Oh, get your head out of my crotch, you monkey fuck. You won't get me this time, you son of a bitch. Whoa, speaking of monkey fuck. Get back here, you shit biscuit. Where'd he go? He's not coming back, is he? Oh, man. Alright, so can I jump up and kill myself? No? Not this time when I need it? This is limbo. This is purgatory. The only thing I can do now is reset the fucking game. You're not gonna get away this time. Yeah, bitch. Well, I beat the game. At least I got as far as you could possibly go before it fucks out. Well, this is where I'd end things. But there's yet another Cheetah game. Yeah, Action 52 on the Genesis. They just couldn't leave it alone, could they? Well, you'd think it would be the same as the NES version, except for enhanced graphics, but believe it or not, it's totally different. So before we can move on to the last Cheetah game, let's take a quick look at what these assholes shat out this time. That music is so Genesis. It's nice we have outer space on the title screen. I mean, at least they're being upfront with it this time. Look at me, I'm shooting at strands of vomit in Space Town. But to tell you the truth, there's not that many space shooters. There's only about 6. That's kind of astonishing. They probably made up for it with the abundance of puzzle games. There's nothing wrong with something that challenges your mind, but this went way overboard. It's called Action 52. I want some action. Besides, if you're going to make a puzzle game, can you at least have some instructions? There's a game called Echo, which is basically Simon Says. Come on, that thing was in every toy store in the 80s. Did we really need a watered-down version on a Sega Genesis cartridge? There's definitely more of a variety here than on the NES. There's a pinball game, a boat game, a skiing game, and a handful of different action games. But they're all just shittier clones of mediocre NES titles. There's a flying game that's worse than Top Gun, and there's a racing game that's a shittier version of Rad Racer. There's also a tank game based off Storm Over the Desert. Remember in the NES version, you're invincible and anything you touch explodes? Well here, it's the total opposite. You can't even touch a soldier. What kind of tank is that? Then there's games that are too easy. In Alien Attack, if you just keep running right and shooting, nothing will stop you. In the ninja game, you can actually run through everybody. In Bombs Away, you're running through a village avoiding bombs, but they'll never hit you as long as you keep moving. You can also jump like you're on a trampoline. Look at him, he jumps higher than the houses. And there's nothing to jump over, no holes, no obstacles, nothing at all. There's also a boxing game where the same thing happens. Have you ever seen a boxing match where somebody jumped, let alone 10 to 20 feet in the air? Another theme I've noticed is roadkill. There's a game called Freeway, which is an exact clone of an Activision game called, Freeway. They didn't even change the title. Instead of a chicken running across the street, you're a dog. That's horrible! The poor dog doesn't just get run over, it gets smushed into pieces! The other roadkill game is Skater. You're some kid on roller skates jumping 50 feet in the air, of course. And most of the obstacles are dead cats. At least I'm pretty sure they're dead. Why else would a cat be laying in the road? Tell me, if you're programming a video game and you have a choice of all the things that could be on the road, like mufflers, puddles of oil, traffic cones, hubcaps, fallen trash cans, open manholes, of all the things you could put there, why does your imagination go straight to dead cats? The names of these games are as mystifying as before. The tank game is called Norman. Is Norman the name of the guy in the tank? Then there's Sunday Drive. Yeah, just chilling out, going for a nice, relaxing Sunday drive, speeding through traffic at 100 miles per hour on a 5-lane highway. There's no accelerator, all you get is a horn, which doesn't do a damn thing. Oh look, Segaville, next exit. Again, and again, and again. For a non-existent exit, it sure has a lot of signs. There's a lot more two-player games this time around, so if you're playing by yourself, that's just more games you can skip. Dino Tennis is pretty funny though. You're two dinosaurs whacking a caveman back and forth. And a purple dinosaur? Really? Don't we have Barney? Isn't that enough? They recycle the same grunt and scream sound effects countless times. Even the spaceship screams. In Zelda Twilight Princess on Wii, I was jumping around when somehow I got stuck in a roof. Unfortunately, I didn't have it recorded in the act, but I sure tried to recreate it. It couldn't be done. Let's play Rocky on the PS2. Not you again! What happened to the audience?
Well, you sure packed quite a crowd tonight, nerd. You sure did. Standing room only. Full house of glitches. Ding, ding, ding. In this corner, we have weighing in at 0 pounds and 0 ounces. Nothing. In this corner, we've got much of the same. Nothing. Did you hear that? What's that sound?
Next up is a pipe.
Sounds like a glitch. Your glitch. Enjoy it.
Next up is a pipe. Next up is a pipe. Next up is a pipe.
Nope. No use for setting. Not gonna do a thing.
Yeah, fuck you. It's working now.
Spider Rico.
What was that?
I put him through the floor. That's a good one. Good one, glitch gremlin.
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Rocky Balboa.
Oh yeah, I'm glitching. Get down with your bad self. Get down. Get down. Get down. Woo!
Wow, I've never seen a game this fucked up.
Not gonna work. Not gonna work. What time is it? Not gonna work o'clock. In this corner we have Bug-Eyed Balboa.
What happened to his mouth?
His eyes are popping out. And in that corner we've got Spider Rico with no jaw.
They're like zombies. What is this? Rocky the Undead Edition? You are really one sick fuck. You know that? I'm gonna try Clubber Lang.
Oh, Clubber Lang. That could be a good one. Let's see what else I got up my sleeves. I'm not wearing any, but for my final showstopper, feast your eyes on this.
No, yeah, baby.
It's a Clubber fuck. I need a beer.
Oh, you want to play dirty, do you? Bing! How do you like that? Sip on a nice, cool bottle of glitz. Bing! A nice, comfy couch of pixelated glitz. 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 Bing! Bing! Glitz, glitz. Glitz, glitz, glitz. Bing! 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 Glitz. 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 Glitz.
Football! And it's one of the worst games I ever played in my life. Are these football players? Or are they stormtroopers? Are they wearing helmets or are these microwaves on their heads? Is it Team White versus Team Naked? Is that a crowd noise? Or is it the sounds of the ocean? Is that the entire field? Yeah, it is. And it's surrounded by water. It looks like. Yeah, it's like an island. It's Football Island. In other words, hell.
I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. Yeah! Yeah!
Touchdown!
To be fair, football games had to start somewhere. In real sports football and Super Challenge football, the players look more like people, and the screen scrolls. In Super Football, there's a 3D perspective. Pretty ambitious for the Atari 2600. I'd say play this one. Or the latest Madden. Basketball. Now this is some great stuff. What is this? Purple Man can't jump? I love that you're dribbling a square ball. That's right, this was before circles were invented. I like how the players are constantly stomping around like Les Claypool or Angus Young, or perhaps like a dog getting its belly scratched. Oh, look at this, look at this. Yeah, you can't do that in NBA Jam. You can actually keep playing after the timer runs out. This is a pretty fun game for what it is, but there's simple things they couldn't get right. If you select one player, you get the two-player mode, and if you select two players, you get the one-player mode. I'm not kidding. When it comes to baseball games, there's a handful of them, like home run. Even though I know nothing about sports, I can tell you one thing. There's only one pitcher in baseball! What the hell's going on here?
Plastic. You attach your controller. You get it? In case you don't want to have a conversation in the same room. Yeah, while you're saying fire, 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 kind of defeats the purpose, right? Fire, 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 fuck. I didn't say fire, I said fuck. Fuck, fuck fire, fuck, ass. You can say anything. Shit, bitch, cunt, fuck, fart. Fuck! Wow, I just shot down a duck by saying fuck. Next is the Rollin' Rocker. This thing is the biggest shit biscuit I've ever seen. You stand on it and supposedly you rock back and forth, which controls the D-pad. The modern day equivalent would be the Wii Fit. The Rollin' Rocker is supposed to be compatible with every game for the NES, but I find that it isn't compatible with any of them. Each game responds differently, but none of them work. Adventure Island keeps walking right, Excite Bike keeps going down, Skate or Die goes in circles, Kung Fu ducks to the right, Metal Gear does nothing at all, Ninja Turtles 3 walks in place, and 1943 just fidgets around a lot. It's another hunk of plastic! Who made this thing? Son of a bitch. Well, we might as well try an LJN game. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice! Let's see if this works. No, of course not. It doesn't. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I need a beer. I'm drinking Rollin' Rock on the Rollin' Rocker. Rollin' Rock, Rollin' Rocker. Yeah, Rollin' Rock on the Rollin' Rocker. I've also heard that you can't weigh more than 100 pounds, but I still don't understand why I can't get any kind of response out of it. Let's try the cat. Get on there, you little bastard. Cat's like, fuck that shit. Even though the Rollin' Rocker does absolutely nothing, the B and A buttons still work. Yeah, you here. They eat the other players in the same way that Pac-Man eats the ghosts. Super Challenge Baseball is slightly advanced. By slightly, I mean it's like a bunch of restroom signs got loose and started playing a game of baseball. The batter's sort of like a letter G that's been stepped on or something. Nobody has a neck and they balance the balls on their heads. But hey, it looks better than the other game, and graphics don't matter much if the game plays well. And this one does not. It's shit. I can't figure out how to control the other players. And it's Atari. There's not too many buttons to try. Have you ever seen
In a game of baseball where the catcher runs out to get the ball, by the time he gets it, the batter has already run to first base, had a cup of coffee, and watched the whole Godfather trilogy. Then I try throwing the ball back to the pitcher, but it keeps going through him. What am I supposed to do to continue the game? I guess I gotta go downstairs to home plate. Real sports baseball is even more advanced, but the sound effects are awful. Listen. That is the sound of all-encompassing negativity. Really, what's it supposed to be? The sound of the bat cutting through space and time? Why is the batter naked? I'm not trying to be funny. He is naked. You can see all the other players wearing shirts and pants. The batter is naked, and they gave him a dick. Maybe it's the knee, but then where's the other knee? It's a dick. The batter is naked. Concluded. Ice hockey. It's somewhat playable. This is a little bit of an economic version of hockey. They could only get 2 sticks, so when the player passes the puck to his teammate, they have to pass the stick too. Real sports volleyball. Your teammate is your mirror double and can only copy your every move. When you bend over, you look like a harp. The sound of the ocean is like an atom bomb going off. The net is like nunchucks, and the sun is like Pac-Man with his mouth shut. In fact, it is. Fun game though, very intuitive and playable.
Now I gotta make something perfectly clear. I play shitty games so that innocent gamers don't have to. But there's one game I never play. What's this here? This Xbox 360? Some modern game system? I don't know. Maybe it has advanced graphics. Might even be in color. Let's check it out.
What the fuck?
Imagine all that combined and multiplied 1,000,000 times. Even worse, you go into this anti-gravity room where you get sucked up to the ceiling against your own will.
Man, the only way to beat an outrageously difficult game like this is to cheat. Like I hear a lot of people use emulators with save states. You know, that would be pretty handy, I guess, but you know what would be better? How about just a button you press that makes the game beat? And that's why I invented the beat a game button. Yeah, all you do, if you're playing a really hard game, you just push the button and the game's beat. Let's try it out. Ninja Gaiden 2. Ooh, that's a hard game. Oh, man. Oh, shit. I'm getting my ass kicked. Legend of Zelda. Beat it. Mega Man. Beat it. You never thought you'd beat a hard game like that, not without the beat a game button. Alright, all you games, consider your ass beat. Alright, back to Star Wars. Most of the video games I talk about are action games, side-scrollers, games that are in the realms of fantasy. But there's a huge following for games based on sports, and I get a lot of requests for that. And I'm not really a big fan because, I don't know, I guess I like fantasy games more because it's something that you couldn't do in real life, whereas a sports game, you could go outside and play sports. It's possible. Not for me, because I don't know anything about sports. I'm a fucking nerd! Usually I stick to what I know best. But sports video games have been around since video games first existed. They're not going away. How do I ignore it for so long? I can't. There's boxing and racing games. I don't mind those too much, but the ones we're talking about are all the ball games, like baseball. Look how many baseball games there are. I don't even know where to begin. Major League All-Stars, whatever, always named after players' names, sequels to games. What the hell's different this time? It's baseball. Then there's basketball, NBA this and NBA that. One of the most popular games of all time is NBA Jam. Okay, it's basketball. Again. Football. Don't even get me started. And I'm not talking about the kind of football where they actually use their foot. I mean the kind where they slam into each other like a bunch of barbarians. Ugh! What I don't understand is why everything is always bowl. What, like a toilet bowl? Okay, I know at least what the Super Bowl is. It's the most anticipated football game of the season. And with so much testosterone and high energy going around, why is the halftime show always some pussy pop group? Get Metallica in there or something. It doesn't make any sense. Alright. Back to football video games. Madden. Madden 91. Madden 92. Madden 93. Madden 94. Madden 95. Madden 96. Madden 97. Madden 98. Madden 99. Madden 2000. Madden 2001. Madden 2002. Madden 2003. Who the fuck is John Madden anyway? He doesn't even look like an athlete. What is it with football? Everywhere you go, football. Go there, football. Football. Like what the fuck? Sunday football. Monday night football, Thursday football, football on Thanksgiving, football on Christmas, and out of all sports, it's the one everybody goes the most fucking apeshit over. Makes them act like fucking maniacs. Man, I gotta calm down. All right, if I'm gonna play some sports games, I gotta start with the Atari 2600. Yeah, this is when sports games were fucking sports games. Look at these titles. Baseball, basketball, football, not this Madden shit. Just plain ass, normal, everyday, no question about it, no NFL, no year, not named after a player, not named after a coach, not named after the referee's pet goldfish, no quarterback, dimeback, nickelback, simple, ordinary, unembellished, unmistakable, crystal clear, as frank as Frankenstein, as blunt as an atom bomb. One compound word, it's motherfucking goddamn sons of bitchin' fucking football! And it's one of the worst games I ever played in my life. Are these football players or are they stormtroopers? Are they wearing helmets or are these microwaves on their heads? Is it Team White versus Team Naked? Is that a crowd noise or is it the sounds of the ocean? Is that the entire field? Yeah, it is. And it's surrounded by water, it looks like. Yeah, it's like an island. It's Football Island. In other words, hell. I'm gonna make it. Yeah! Touchdown! To be fair, football games had to start somewhere. In real sports football and Super Challenge football, the players look more like people, and the screen scrolls. In Super Football, there's a 3D perspective. Pretty ambitious for the Atari 2600. I'd say play this one. Or the latest Madden. Basketball. Now this is some great stuff. What is this? Purple Man Can't Jump? I love that you're dribbling a square ball. That's right, this was before circles were invented. I like how the players are constantly stomping around like Les Claypool or Angus Young, or perhaps like a dog getting its belly scratched. Oh
look at this, look at this. Yeah, you can't do that in NBA Jam. You can actually keep playing after the timer runs out. This is a pretty fun game for what it is, but there's simple things they couldn't get right. If you select one player, you get the two-player mode, and if you select two players, you get the one-player mode. I'm not kidding. When it comes to baseball games, there's a handful of them, like home run. Even though I know nothing about sports, I can tell you one thing. There's only one pitcher in baseball! What the hell's going on here? They eat the other players, in the same way that Pac-Man eats the ghosts. Super Challenge Baseball is slightly advanced. By slightly, I mean it's like a bunch of restroom signs got loose and started playing a game of baseball. The batter's sort of like a letter G that's been stepped on or something. Nobody has a neck and they balance the balls on their heads. But hey, it looks better than the other game, and graphics don't matter much if the game plays well. And this one does not. It's shit. I can't figure out how to control the other players. And it's Atari. There's not too many buttons to try. Have you ever seen a game of baseball where the catcher runs out to get the ball? By the time he gets it, the batter has already run to first base, had a cup of coffee, and watched the whole Godfather trilogy. Then I try throwing the ball back to the pitcher, but it keeps going through him. What am I supposed to do to continue the game? I guess I gotta go downstairs to home plate. Real sports baseball is even more advanced, but the sound effects are awful. Listen. That is the sound of all-encompassing negativity. Really, what's it supposed to be? The sound of the bat cutting through space and time? Why is the batter naked? I'm not trying to be funny. He is naked. You can see all the other players wearing shirts and pants. The batter is naked, and they gave him a dick. Maybe it's the knee, but then where's the other knee? It's a dick. The batter is naked. Concluded. Ice hockey. It's somewhat playable. This is a little bit of an economic version of hockey. They can only get 2 sticks, so when the player passes the puck to his teammate, they have to pass the stick too. Real sports volleyball. Your teammate is your mirror double and can only copy your every move. When you bend over, you look like a harp. The sound of the ocean is like an atom bomb going off. The net is like nunchucks, and the sun is like Pac-Man with his mouth shut. In fact, it is. Fun game though, very intuitive and playable. Boxing. What is this? Geodude fighting Mr. Game & Watch in the middle of a baseball field? I gotta admit, I was pretty confused looking at this until I figured out that it's an overhead view. All along I thought they were crabs or something. This is hilarious. Too bad there's no fall down graphic, because then we could have seen their whole bodies. Let's step it up with real sports boxing. As the title suggests, this is the real version. The graphics are way advanced, even though you can see through the outlines on their arms, and when they get knocked down, they look like they've been squashed by a steamroller. They punch each other so hard, the sounds of their impacts resonate like a cannon blast. And one more thing, you can select your character. For the 2600, that is pretty innovative. Tennis. Playable, yes. Graphically advanced, no. Is that a net or is it a wall? Could they not make a simple grid? Yes, they could. Real sports tennis actually has a net. And get this, you can enter a name. Not that I cared to, but it's another interesting thing to see in a 2600 game. Grand Prix. Yeah, it's pre, but it looks like pricks. It's a bunch of kazoos flying through a cabbage patch. Not too bad. But then try out Math Grand Prix. Your car can't move until you finish a math question. You wouldn't wish this game on your worst enemies. Karate. What's up with your legs? They're multi-jointed. It's like you're fighting on a giant combo. You know those little pretzel bites with cheese in the middle? Yeah, I'm stretching now. Before there were combos in Killer Instinct, you were mashing the button hoping you'll eventually hit your opponent. It's crap. Moving on. International soccer. Have 45 minutes to spare? Then I wouldn't recommend it. Let's see if Pele's soccer is any better. Oh my god! Oh man! Which one is Pele? Let me guess. The round one. This is the only sports game I think I've ever played where the controls are so broken it's impossible to score. Even if you purposely let your opponent come to your goal, you can't keep your goalie from automatically blocking the ball. And when you get to the opposite goal, you can't keep your players from automatically kicking the ball all over the place. I'm not even touching the button. Stop kicking the fucking ball. Golf. This sucks. You can whack the ball until the cows come home, but that ball is not going anywhere you want it to. Every time I try to hit it, it goes straight up or down. I've tried approaching it from every angle possible. The club is useless. It's like the staff in Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Oh, come on! Oh my God, get it over there! Fuck! And the par is 3? How could anyone do this in 3 strokes? I've actually reached 99 and rolled the counter over to 0. If I can get 3 now, would that count? And this person golfing looks like Mimel the Elf. Now I have to explain. If you look on the United States map, Mimel is an acronym for Minnesota, Iowa, Missouri, Arkansas, and Louisiana. Spells Mimel and looks like an elf, with Minnesota being the hat, Louisiana being the foot. And that's Mimel playing golf. But am I talking about video games here or U.S. geography? Let's move on. Let's try miniature golf. What the hell, man? It's like the characters from Pong went to play golf. Oh, good Lord. Oh, it's killing me. Oh, you're a square pushing a smaller square towards another square. Oh my God. I don't even know what to say about this game. Just look at it.
Well, that's Atari Sports for you. Some of these games were pretty innovative for their time, and others were a little crappy. I think it's obvious to say that in all the years since, sports games have gotten better. So if that's the type of game you enjoy, then game on. Maybe you're the kind of person who remembers which bush to burn in The Legend of Zelda to find the labyrinth, or maybe you're the kind of person who remembers the score to some sports game years ago. Maybe you like to go around in a Star Trek uniform, or you like to go around in a sports uniform. And I don't mean like a sports t-shirt, but the same jersey that the players in the game wear. Whatever the case, maybe, somehow, in our own ways, we're all nerds. Now what's this here? This Xbox 360? Some modern game system? I don't know. Maybe it has advanced graphics. Might even be in color. Let's check it out.